Hi everyone, my name is Ashley and my final project is over the landmark Supreme Court case of Obergefell versus Hodges. This is the Supreme Court case that made same-sex marriage equality the law of the land, or in other words, legal in all 50 states. This case sparked a lot of controversy, but the ruling on this case is so important to so many people in this country. No matter if you are a part of the LGBT community or just an LGBT supporter. Some facts about the case are 14 same-sex couples, as well as 2 individuals whose spouses had passed away, argued that not issuing marriage licenses and not recognizing marriages from other states violated the 14th Amendment. Basically, due process, equal protection, and civil rights. Jim Obergefell and Edie Windsor are the 2 people whose spouses had passed away long before this case made it to the Supreme Court. These 2 individuals, along with countless other supporters, fought tirelessly for marriage equality in the United States. Edie Windsor was left with over $300,000 in estate tax after her spouse passed away because she was not protected by an exemption usually extended to widowers. Jim Obergefell simply wanted to be able to be listed as the surviving spouse on his deceased husband's death certificate. Some questions brought about in the case were, does the 14th Amendment require a state to license a marriage between 2 people of the same sex? And does the 14th Amendment require a state to recognize a marriage between 2 people of the same sex that was legally licensed and performed in another state? In a very close vote of 5-4, the Supreme Court ruled that yes, the 14th Amendment does require a state to license a marriage between 2 people of the same sex, and yes, the 14th Amendment does require a state to recognize a marriage between 2 people of the same sex that was legally licensed and performed in another state. The timeline of this case is January 16, 2014, when the Supreme Court granted the petition for certiorari, to June 26th of 2015, when the Supreme Court ruled that the 14th Amendment does require a state to license a marriage between 2 people of the same sex, and the 14th Amendment does require a state to recognize a marriage between 2 people of the same sex that was legally licensed and performed in another state. Some opinions of the court by Justices Kennedy, Ginsburg, Breyer, Sotomayor, and Kagan are: the Due Process Clause guarantees the right to marry as a fundamental liberty. The Equal Protection Clause guarantees the right of same-sex couples to marry, as denying this right denies same-sex couples equal protection under the law, and it also gave legal recognition and rights for children and their families. This is very important for same-sex couples who want both names listed on their future children's birth certificates, couples who already have children and want to be able to pick each other's children up early from school or to have them medically treated, or even couples who want to adopt each other's children. The dissenters on the case were Justices Scalia, Roberts, Thomas, and Alito. Justices Roberts and Scalia were the primary dissenters on the case. Justice Roberts states, while same-sex marriage might be a good and fair policy, the Constitution does not address it. This is interesting that he says that when bits and pieces of the definition of marriage has been changed throughout history, starting with one man and one woman, to interracial marriage equality, and now to same-sex marriage equality. Justice Scalia states, the question of whether same-sex marriage should be recognized is one for the state legislatures. While this may be true, the plaintiffs in this case did take their arguments to their states. They were unhappy with the results and rightfully took it to a higher power. Thank you. you for watching my video, and I hope you learned a little bit about the Supreme Court case of Obergefell versus Hodges, which made same-sex marriage equality the law of the land.